I love Taiwan. I fell in love in the first week. I came here, I didn't feel like a stranger. Everybody was very welcoming. Health insurance is so tough for Americans. It costs so much. It costs more than a car. I chose Kaohsiung because it's a little less crowded.
Hello， 朋友们，欢迎来到我的频道。看看我旁边有谁啊？美国来的 Topher， 听说他真的在台湾的这个时间呢很享受。As I heard, you really enjoyed your stay in Taiwan.
I love Taiwan.
And in 2 years, right?
Oh yeah.
In 2 years, you all fell in love here.
Oh, easy. I fell in love in the first week.
Really?
Yeah.
But what is the reason?
Well, I've lived in a couple different countries in Asia. I lived in Japan. I've lived in Vietnam, a little bit in Thailand too.
Okay.
And so after the pandemic, I came to Taiwan, and you know, as an expat coming to a new country and it's a new culture and I don't speak the language, I can't read anything, what they call culture shock. Right? When I came to Taiwan, no culture shock.
Why? But it's different than United States and different than other countries.
Oh, it's very different. I just felt so welcome.
Okay, people welcome you.
Yeah, and that wasn't the same. That I didn't get that same feeling when I went to Japan or the other countries. That I came here, I didn't feel like a stranger. Everybody was very welcoming, very kind. It was just so easy to do everything. I came here on a tourist visa.
Okay, then you stay here.
Right? And I thought, oh man, I should try and get a job here. I got a job within a week.
Okay.
Easy. As an English teacher.
English teacher.
But I have experience with that. So,
I see.
Yeah. And then finding an apartment was easy.
Easy. And also cheaper than United States.
Oh my gosh, so much cheaper. Not even close. Yeah, I live in a very nice neighborhood in Kaohsiung.
Okay, that's good.
And if I tried to compare that with living in the U.S., I would easily be paying 5 or 6 times more.
What about the health insurance? You already got the health insurance?
Oh, that's not even comparable.
Americans love it.
Oh, health insurance is so tough for Americans. I'm a little bit at an advantage there because I'm a combat veteran. So
okay.
I had some injuries during combat, so I get free health insurance with veteran hospitals.
But because your background?
Yeah, only because of my background and only because I got injured while I was in combat.
I see.
That's the only reason. Yeah, so it's like, oh, I'm lucky I got injured. That's really weird, but it's
what about the normal Americans?
No.
They have to pay a lot.
It costs so much. It costs more than a car.
Really?
Yeah, it costs more than a car payment. Yeah, absolutely.
What about Taiwan's insurance?
Oh, it's so cheap. I don't even notice it. I spend more money on dinner than I will on health insurance.
That's good. So what about other advantages you already realized in Taiwan?
Oh, there's so many. It's so safe. I never have to worry about checking my wallet. Oh, those people don't look safe. I should cross the street. None of that here. It's so safe here. And let's see, the public transportation in Taipei and in Kaohsiung especially is really, really good. The HSR is amazing. I love it. Yeah, you know, America doesn't have an HSR.
I heard that. Why? Because of the geography? Because it's a huge country?
No, it's all bureaucracy. It's all politicians and lawyers.
They don't like it.
All that. Everybody wants to make money off of it.
I see.
And so it just gets more and more expensive. And nobody wants it in their backyard. So it gets more and more expensive to find the right route. Will it ever happen? I don't know, maybe in 20 years we'll see an
maybe
HSR.
In the future.
Maybe. I wouldn't put money on it.
Did you encounter any discrimination in Southeast Asia, not in Taiwan?
I had a couple of people, a little bit of, I wouldn't say discrimination, but I would say I was singled out in Vietnam sometimes, where just slightly aggressive. I couldn't tell if they were drunk or if
maybe
they were, maybe drunk, maybe a little bit of a mental illness.
Maybe.
You know, just no sort of fight or anything like that. But one time I was walking in Vietnam and a guy kept like stop. He was walking the other way, and he wouldn't let me. Yeah, and then he just put his fist like that.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, he didn't hit me. He was just holding it against me, and She was like that tall on me too. Like, what is happening here? What am I going to do with this?
In Taiwan, it's almost impossible, right? I mean, very rare.
I've never had that. I've had even almost, I would say, the opposite, where because I'm an American, it was easier for me to find a job.
Yeah, because of the language, also
Yeah,
your native
yeah.
English speaker.
Yeah.
But why did you choose Kaohsiung? Why not Taipei?
I think Taipei is great. Taipei was my second choice because I really like public transportation. If I don't have to own a car or a scooter, even better. Kaohsiung and Taipei both met that criteria where they both had excellent public transportation, and they were big enough cities to where if I wanted to stay in Taiwan and find a job, I knew I could. I chose Kaohsiung because it's a little less crowded. Not
Yes.
even a little, it's much less crowded.
Bigger roads.
Yeah, it's bigger roads, it's more spread out. Although I will say that I think the drivers in Taipei are better than the drivers in Kaohsiung.
So Kaohsiung worse.
I think Kaohsiung has some of the worst drivers. I just got done doing a Huandao,
Okay.
going all around the island, and was in a car. I wasn't driving, but was able to notice, you know, the driving all throughout Taiwan. I thought like, wow, I might live in the city with the worst drivers.
Sometimes people
Yeah.
also in Taiwan, they say Taiwan is a hell for pedestrians.
I wouldn't say that.
Do you agree with this?
No, I wouldn't say that. I think if you're comparing Taiwan to a lot of Western countries, especially European countries, maybe that's a fair comparison.
Okay.
But if you compare Taiwan with other neighboring countries, it's pretty nice. It's not that bad. I mean, Vietnam, there's big cities that have no traffic.
I know.
And you have to walk through oncoming traffic. It's pretty scary. Japan is probably better for pedestrians than Taiwan.
Because they have many rules. They also
Yeah, they have many rules, really built up infrastructure, but it's a bigger country. It's more spread out. But I wouldn't, and there's not a lot of scooters and motorcycles in Japan. It's too cold for that.
yes.
Most of Japan. So because Taiwan is a scooter
Culture.
Yeah, scooter culture. That's a great way to say it. Scooter culture. Other scooter cultures that I've been in, I think Taiwan has the most pedestrian-friendly aspect.
Still
of
good.
that. Oh yeah, very good.
Because as you know, I'm coming from Turkey.
Yeah,
We have also very cold winter, but south part of Turkey is hot.
Yeah.
So we have scooters.
okay.
And we have very less scooters than Taiwan,
Yeah.
but we still have a scooter problem sometimes. Many accidents. Think about it. If we have the same amount of scooters like Taiwan, it will be worse.
Oh yeah, and I mean, coming from the U.S., it's such a spread out country that there's some parts where you just need to own a car. If you can try riding a bicycle or walking, most of the cities are not very friendly for that. There's not a dedicated path, or there might be a sidewalk for a while and then it stops for many miles. So it
Taiwan is still better than US.
I would say
Still
that
traffic.
Taiwanese cities walking might be a little worse than the U.S. because U.S. cities, there is always a sidewalk. But overall, and maybe this isn't a fair comparison because U.S. is so big.
It's like a continent.
It's basically a continent, that I think that Taiwan is friendlier for pedestrians, especially once you add in the public transportation. You know, the public transportation in Taiwan is so clean and so nice and so convenient
Safe.
and so cheap and so safe. I've used the trains and the public transportation in the U.S. and about half the time there's like a half crazy homeless guy on the bus or on the train.
Okay, I saw a couple of times like news, they do some problems, but in Taiwan, we are lucky we don't have that kind of problem.
Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely.
Is there anything that you don't like in Taiwan? Last question.
Oh,
maybe one
boy.
thing you don't like, or maybe two things.
Just one thing? Oh.
Maybe.
Okay. These sound so petty. You know, these are really small things. I'll give you two really small things and one thing that I think is big. All right. So the two really small things is I think that the Taiwanese are slow walkers.
you are the.
I'm always walking,
Okay.
and I'm like, oh, man, grandma. I'm always walking, and I always have to kind of walk around a Taiwanese person. But that's, again, super petty. The other really, really petty thing, small thing, is that it can be sometimes hard to find a trash can.
Okay.
Yeah, so sometimes at a night market or something, I'll eat my food and I'll have the trash. Whoa.
There's a leaf.
Yeah. Sometimes at a night market, I'll eat my food and I'll have some trash. I'll be like, well, where do I, you know?
But they have big plastic.
Yeah.
But not everywhere.
It depends on the night market.
Yeah, you have to walk.
Yeah. Sometimes you have to walk.
Okay.
In the U.S., there'll probably be more trash cans. Again, super petty. The biggest thing that I think Taiwan can improve on is with how it generates its electricity and its energy. So a lot of it is, there's big coal power plants here, which have a lot of pollution.
Yes.
Okay, I'm not a fan of the pollution. I understand with manufacturing, that comes pollution. I get it. There's not a lot you can do about that. But with the coal power plants, I think...
You don't like that much coal power plants?
Yeah, I don't think we should... I say we as in Taiwan. I think nuclear is actually a better option. Honestly, I do. And I know that there's a lot of fear with nuclear power plants.
Some people also against it?
Yeah, but when they're built correctly and they're inspected on a regular basis, and they're built in a way so they can withstand earthquakes and tsunamis. Remember, Fukushima did not melt down because of the earthquake. It was because of the tsunami that happened, right? And so if they're built with those in mind, then nuclear is an excellent option. I also think that solar power would be a very excellent option, because Taiwan gets so much sun, especially in the south, and it would what's called decentralize the power grid, and it would make Taiwan not only cleaner, but in case of any aggression or attacks, any sort of blockades, it adds a layer of insurance.
I see.
So most of the city could still generate power, even if there isn't oil and natural gas coming in. So I think Taiwan should take those steps. I know they're making good steps with like wind power.
They're building many wind power.
Yeah, and those are great. But wind power, those big windmills, they require more maintenance than solar.
And in every 20 years you have to change them.
Right. So it's better than nothing, but I think that they could be spending more efforts on improving renewable energy in Taiwan.
Thank you, Topher.
Thank you so much.
Appreciate it. It was fun. So what about your YouTube channel? Let's talk about it.
Yeah, thank
Promote
you so
it.
much. Megwa Susu, Uncle Topher, Topher.
Okay.
Yeah, I started it as just a fun hobby, and it became this awesome career path.
Maybe one day you are going to hit 1 million
I
subscribers.
hope so. Yeah, please subscribe. Please check it
Okay.
out.
好的，谢谢你哦 ，Thank you very much。
Thank you.
各位朋友们，记得订阅他的频道，订阅我的频道，欢迎留言。你们觉得台湾还有哪一些优势呢？搞不好呢，下次呢，我们跟 Topher 见面的时候呢 ，maybe next time we can make another video outside, not talking interview, but this time talk about some stories from your life.
Oh, I
Okay.
got so many.
I know. Okay, see you next time. Bye bye，朋友们，下次见。